The salt shaker on your table may not be your biggest problem. The real damage often starts in places you would never think to blame. If you want to stay healthy and independent as you age, hit that subscribe button right now. We share simple, science-backed health tips like this every single day. After years of reading senior health research and watching the same pattern show up again and again, one truth keeps standing out. Many people work hard to avoid salt, but still struggle with swelling, rising blood pressure, or that heavy, tired feeling in their body, and the reason is simple: they are fighting the wrong enemy. Today, I'm going to show you what is really pushing the problem and what you can start doing about it. Now, before we continue, tell me your age and where you're watching from in the comments. This helps us understand who we're helping. Here's what most people get wrong. They hear high blood pressure and think one thing: salt. End of story. But that is only part of the picture. Not no salt, but the right balance. Not one food, but your whole daily pattern. Let me be clear. Salt does matter for some people. A 2023 study from Northwestern University, Vanderbilt University Medical Center, and the University of Alabama at Birmingham found that when adults ages 50 to 75 cut sodium for just 1 week, 72% of them saw their systolic blood pressure go down. That is real. That matters. But here is the part almost nobody explains. A 2021 study from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that every 1,000 milligrams more sodium was linked to an 18% higher risk of heart disease, while every 1,000 milligrams more potassium was linked to an 18% lower risk. Did you catch that? Not just less sodium, more potassium too. So the real issue is often not the pinch of salt on your eggs. It is the whole trap around it. Packaged food, hidden sugar, too little water, poor sleep, stiff arteries, too little movement. That is why some people stop salting their food and still feel awful. They removed the spark, but left the fire burning. And once you see these 5 hidden causes, you will never look at low-salt advice the same way again. Number 5, ultra-processed food. Most people think salt comes from the salt shaker, but actually most sodium comes from food made in a factory, a drive-thru, or a freezer box. That is the big misunderstanding. Not the salt you add with your fingers, but the salt, sugar, and fat packed into food before it ever gets to your plate. Think of your body like a kitchen sink. A little salt in home-cooked food is one thing, but ultra-processed food is like turning on 3 faucets at once. Sodium goes up, sugar goes up, bad fats go up, fiber goes down, potassium goes down, then your body struggles to keep up. A 2024 report from Yale School of Medicine found that people who ate the most ultra-processed food had a 23% greater risk of hypertension, and about 64% of their food intake came from these products. That is not a small shift. That is a whole eating pattern. So what do? Start with breakfast. That is where many seniors get trapped. Instant pastries, sweet cereal, frozen biscuits, processed meat, canned hash, salty bread. Instead, try 1 cup of plain oatmeal with half a cup of berries and 2 eggs, or plain Greek yogurt with a banana and a spoon of nuts. That one change can cut hundreds of milligrams of sodium and a big load of added sugar. At lunch, read one label. Just one. Look at sodium per serving. If it says 600, 700, or 900 milligrams, that food is already doing damage before dinner even starts. A better target is around 140 milligrams per serving for packaged items when possible. That is often called low sodium. Dinner matters too. A frozen meal can easily hit 800 to 1,200 milligrams of sodium. A simple plate of 3 ounces of chicken, 1 medium baked potato, and 1 cup of green beans gives you protein, potassium, and fiber without the chemical overload. See the difference? Not fake healthy, but real food. And when you shop, use this simple rule. If a food has a long ingredient list you would not keep in your own kitchen, leave it there. Chips, deli meats, canned pasta, instant noodles, flavored crackers, packaged soups, and many frozen dinners are not just salty. They are the full blood pressure package. Quick question. Have you experienced ankle swelling, morning puffiness, or rising blood pressure even when you thought you were eating light? Comment yes or no below. Because once you cut the factory food, something surprising happens. You may find that your body handles normal home cooking much better, but wait until you see number 4. Number 4, too little potassium. Most people think the answer is to push sodium down. But actually, your body also needs enough potassium to keep things balanced. Potassium is the mineral that helps your body release extra sodium. It also helps your blood vessels relax. In simple words, sodium can act like a foot on the gas, while potassium acts like a brake. If you only cut sodium but never raise potassium, You are trying to balance a seesaw with weight on one side only. That is why so many people say, I gave up salty food, but my numbers still aren't where they should be. Your body may be missing the helper it needs. A 2021 study from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that every 1,000 milligrams more potassium was linked to an 18% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. That is a powerful clue. The problem may not be salt alone. The problem may be salt without enough potassium around it. So, where do you get potassium? Real food. One medium baked potato has around 900 milligrams. 1 cup of cooked white beans can give you close to 1,000 milligrams. 1 cup of cooked spinach gives roughly 800 milligrams. 1 banana gives about 420 milligrams. 1 cup of plain yogurt gives around 550 milligrams. Half an avocado gives about 350 milligrams. You do not need a fancy plan. You need a repeatable plan. Put one potassium-rich food in each meal, maybe a banana with breakfast, beans or yogurt at lunch, a potato or spinach at dinner. That is how small changes become lower numbers over time. And here is a trick that works well for seniors. Build your plate by color first. Green vegetables, white beans, orange sweet potato, red tomatoes. When your plate gets more colorful, potassium usually rises without you having to count every milligram. But please do not rush to potassium pills or salt substitutes yet. Those can be dangerous for some people. We will talk about that in a minute. Food first is the safest place to begin for most people. Still think this is only about cutting salt? Then number 3 may surprise you even more. Number 3, not drinking enough water. Look, a lot of older adults are walking around mildly dehydrated and do not even know it. They are not thirsty, so they assume they are fine. But thirst gets weaker with age. That means your body can be running low on fluid before your brain sends a loud signal. What happens then? Your blood becomes more concentrated. Your body starts holding onto sodium and water more tightly. Your blood vessels may tighten too. It is like trying to pump thick syrup through a narrow straw. The pressure can rise because the system is under strain. A 2019 study from the UCLA School of Nursing found that up to 40% of older adults living in the community may be chronically underhydrated. The study also linked underhydration to infections, falls, and worse problems in the morning. That matters more than people realize. So what can you do today? Start your morning with 8 to 12 ounces of water before coffee. Then drink another glass with breakfast. Have one with lunch, one in the afternoon, one with dinner. You do not need to drown yourself. You just need steady intake. A simple goal for many seniors is 6 to 8 cups of fluid spread through the day, unless your doctor has told you to limit fluids. If you take a water pill, this becomes even more important. Check your urine too. Pale yellow is usually a better sign than dark gold. And yes, some foods help. 1 cup of broth-based soup adds fluid. 1 cup of milk gives about 8 ounces. Cucumbers, oranges, melon, and strawberries also add water. Water-rich foods do count. Here's the thing. Many people wake up dizzy, tired, or puffy and blame salt. But sometimes the problem is the exact opposite. Your body is clinging to sodium because it senses water is low. Isn't that wild? Before we go further, if this is making sense so far, hit that like button. It tells me you want more videos like this. Now let's talk about a cause. Most people never connect to blood pressure at all. But wait until you hear number 2. Number 2, poor sleep and constant stress. Most people think blood pressure is all about food, but your nervous system has a vote too. If your body stays on high alert, your blood vessels stay tighter, your heart works harder, your hormones tell your body to hold on to more fluid. Over time, that pushes your numbers up. Think of stress like a smoke alarm that never shuts off. It was made to protect you in emergencies. But if it screams all day and night, it stops helping and starts harming. Poor sleep does the same thing. It keeps your body from fully resetting. A 2023 study led by Penn State found that when adults were limited to 5 hours of sleep a night, their systolic blood pressure rose by about 0.5 millimeters of mercury each day, and even weekend recovery sleep did not fully bring it back to normal. Their heart rate kept rising too. So yes, sleep loss can quietly push pressure higher. What should you do? Pick a steady wake-up time first. Not bedtime, wake-up time. That anchors your body clock. Then get morning light for 10 to 20 minutes. Open the blinds. Step outside. Sit by a bright window. Your brain needs that signal. Next, cut caffeine after noon, not 5 p.m. Noon. For many older adults, one late coffee can wreck sleep without them realizing it. Eat dinner at least 3 hours before bed when you can. And if you snack at night, keep it light. Try plain yogurt, a a small kiwi, or a few almonds instead of cookies or chips. There are also calming foods that support better evenings. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds gives around 150 milligrams of magnesium. 1 ounce of almonds gives about 80 milligrams. Half a cup of black beans gives around 60 milligrams. Magnesium helps muscles and nerves relax. It is not magic, but it helps. And do not forget the simplest tool of all: slow breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Breathe out for 6. Do that for 2 minutes. The long exhale tells your body, we are safe now. It sounds too easy, but easy things work when you actually do them. If your pressure is highest at night or first thing in the morning, ask yourself this: is it really the salt on dinner, or is your body never getting a full reset? I'd love to hear your story. What made you click on this video today? Share in the comments, because the number one cause people miss has even less to do with the salt shaker than you think. Number 1, stiff arteries and extra belly fat. This is the big one. As you age, your arteries can lose flexibility. They become less like a soft garden hose and more like an old hard pipe. When that happens, pressure rises more easily. Then if extra belly fat, high insulin, and too little movement get added on top, the system gets even worse. So when some people say, I barely eat salt and my pressure is still high, this may be why. The problem is not always what you shake on your food. The problem may be that your blood vessels have become less flexible and your body is stuck in storage mode. A 2021 study from Wake Forest School of Medicine found that in adults ages 65 to 79 with obesity, cutting about 200 calories a day and doing 30 minutes of aerobic exercise 4 days a week improved aortic stiffness. The aorta is your body's biggest artery. When it gets stiffer, your heart has to push harder. That is huge. It means your body can respond to small changes. Not punishment, not boot camp, small changes. So start where you are. Walk for 10 minutes after 1 meal a day. If that feels easy, make it 2 meals. Stand up every 30 to 60 minutes if you sit a lot. Do 10 chair squats while the kettle boils. March in place during commercials. These tiny moves help your blood vessels remember how to open and close better. Now let's talk food. Build meals around less storage, more stability. Try 3 ounces of salmon, 1 cup of vegetables, and half a cup of beans, or 2 tablespoons of olive oil spread across the day, a handful of walnuts, and more plain protein like eggs, chicken, tuna, or yogurt. These choices can help with fullness, blood sugar, and inflammation. And watch waist size, not just body weight. Belly fat is more active than people think. It sends out signals that can raise inflammation and make blood vessels work worse. Even losing 5 to 10% of body weight can make a real difference for many adults. That is not a cosmetic goal. That is a blood vessel goal. So no, I am not saying salt never matters. I am saying salt is often the loudest suspect, while the real troublemakers are hiding in the background. Now, let's pump the brakes for a second. I'm not saying this to scare you, but some of these steps are not right for everyone. If you have kidney disease, heart failure, severe swelling, liver disease, or you take medicines like ACE inhibitors, ARBs, spironolactone, or certain water pills, do not load up on potassium or use a salt substitute without asking your doctor first. Too much potassium can be dangerous in those cases. And if your blood pressure is suddenly very high, if you have chest pain, trouble breathing, weakness on one side, confusion, severe headache, or vision changes, do not try to fix that with diet tips at home. Get medical help right away. Also, if you keep seeing readings above 140/90, or if the top number goes over 180, or the bottom number goes over 120, talk to a healthcare professional. So you're convinced, but thinking, how do I actually do this? Keep it simple. Tomorrow morning, drink 1 glass of water when you wake up. Then eat a breakfast with no packaged meat and at least 1 potassium-rich food. At lunch, read 1 label and avoid anything loaded with sodium. After dinner, walk for 10 minutes. Tonight, go to bed 30 minutes earlier. If money is tight, do not worry. You do not need expensive health food. Frozen spinach is cheap, beans are cheap, potatoes are cheap, bananas are cheap, plain oats are cheap. Yogurt can be affordable. Canned beans work too if you rinse them. The goal is not fancy. The goal is fewer factory foods and more foods your body recognizes. Look, there's a lot of noise out there. People want one villain and one rule. But your body is smarter than that. You do not need to overthink this. Start with just 1 change. Cut back on ultra-processed food first, then add 1 potassium-rich food and 1 extra glass of water. Your body will tell you if it's working. If this helped you, hit that like button. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed because we post new health tips every single day. Stay healthy, stay strong.